At Denver Health Medical Center,
Do you verbally consent to receive your COVID vaccination today?
I do.
Denver Public Schools employee FELICITAS Peters prepares to get the shot.
I'm so excited.
I know.
I might actually cry. This is so huge.
So many people have cried. I know.
Yeah, I bet. I can't imagine.
1,000 teachers, school custodians, bus drivers, cafeteria staff, and others are next up to receive the Pfizer vaccine.
It's getting educators front and center to get their vaccination. Very excited about today.
Dwight Jones heads Denver's school system, which along with most others in the country, has had a rough past year as the pandemic forced it to rely on remote learning to teach its 90,000 students.
Absolutely, it's been incredibly tough on educators. Trying to make a new model to educate our children from scratch, essentially overnight, is a Herculean effort.
In January, Colorado's elementary school students were allowed back in the classroom. Secondary students now combine in-person and online learning.
It is so important educationally, socially, psychologically, for kids to be able to be in school.
During this reopening, teachers have depended on masks and social distancing to stay safe. And while virus transmission rates at schools have been low, the disruption that results when positive cases do arise is a real problem. The recent decision to move Colorado teachers up on the vaccine priority list was aimed at addressing that.
Once teachers have been vaccinated 2 weeks after their second dose, they will no longer have to quarantine. You can imagine that's going to make teaching a lot easier.
Recent U.S. Centers for Disease Control guidelines recommend full in-person schooling only when community virus transmission is quite low, a standard few areas of the country currently meet. They also say teacher vaccinations are not a requirement for reopening, and many states, as indicated by this patchwork of colors, have held off on fully doing that.
Whether they say it's a must or not, it's a must for us. This, I think, is having such an impact that we're going to be able to stay open, and I think that's a key.
Several hundred extra doses caused educators in another school district to swarm this recent vaccination event. Their interest in the shots is high.
Walking into a room of people getting vaccinations, waiting to get my own, it's just a very overwhelming feeling.
Peter says this will allow her to return to her office full time. School could get back to normal.
Back to before times, as we like to call it.
Are you ready? Yeah.
When these kinds of extracurricular activities weren't in the picture.
Is that your first COVID shot? How do you feel? Really good.
Hendrik, Sybrandy, CGTN, Denver.